Hi, Possum Patty from Pennsylvania here with my Sktchy Friday Face Challenge. I think I'm going to keep with the pencil theme today. I've been working with some different pencils since last Friday. Last Friday's Sktchy Face Challenge, I used these Derwent drawing pencils. On this page with the crocus flowers, I used a Derwent watercolor pencil to do the crocus leaves. I went back to a watercolor that I had done back in January and pumped up the color on this using these woodless color pencils from Koh-I-Noor. Add a lot of color to that page. I did this sock over here from my March Socks exchange with these Derwent Ink Tense pencils. And I used a little touch of silver, part of the metallic set from Derwent. That was on these white shamrocks. And I thought today, for the Friday Face Challenge, I would use these Tir-Tone pencils. These are also from Koh-I-Noor. And it says 11 pencils with multicolored leads and 1 blender pencil. So each pencil has 3 different colors. And I am going to challenge myself to do the Friday Face with these Tir-Tone pencils. But first, I am just going to do a light sketch of the face using a regular HB sketching pencil. I have a snark in my lap, so you might see her head pop into the picture every once in a while. Unless I can get her doing something somewhere else, but I don't think she's going to leave. Okay, a quick sketch. Cat hair's already on my sketchbook of this Friday Face. Last week when I did the Friday Face, the Sktchy Challenge, I drew an oval for the head and I put in all the lines, the proper lines for proportions, one in the middle for where the eyes are supposed to be, and then divided the lower part of the face to get an idea for the nose and the placement of the mouth. And this week, for some reason, I decided to skip all that. I didn't draw any lines. I just have the picture of the man next to my page, and I am just sketching without putting in any of those lines. So here I am trying to get the eyes. And the nose. I always have a hard time with the cheekbones. I haven't drawn that many men, so I have to remember to kind of square off the chin. Sometimes it helps me to put in the pupils just to give a sense of liveliness to the character, and it helps me fill in the rest of the face. This man has a very large dark mustache, which is going to throw off making the mouth a little bit. And I just gave him a wonky chin. He's also not wearing a shirt. I'm trying to get in his neck and his shoulders. The hair. Don't have the hairline right, but I'll go back and fix that after. Noses are always hard. This nose is in the shadow, so it's hard to get the one side of the nose on. Fussing with his mustache again. Trying to figure out where his lips are in relation to his nose and his mustache. Something not quite right about the nose. I haven't figured it out yet. And I just erased his mouth again. It was John Singer Sargent who said, "A portrait is a painting in which something is wrong with the mouth. And isn't that true? I'll be doing his mouth a few times there. Putting in the mustache. Plus his lips are a little pursed, which might make it a little harder, trying to get that square chin with a little dimple in it. Just erasing some of the lines because I want to put some color on the face. Okay, this is the fun part. I'm going to take my tricolor pencils, just deciding which ones to use here. I'm checking them out. I'm going to start with the lightest one. And I didn't pre-test these before I used them. I probably should. I'm going to test them at the end. And I probably should have tested them at the beginning, but I didn't. So I'm just testing them right on his face. This was a light color. And I'm just going around and looking at some of the highlights on his face and the cheeks and on his forehead. And just putting the color in just to see what it looks like. And this looked like the next darker color. Came out a little orangey, so I'm looking at his face for places that looked a little redder. Maybe some of the shadow areas down on his shoulders, around his mouth. Going very lightly with the color pencil at this point. This one was kind of a combo of red, pink, and yellow. Now, red came out kind of dark under his eye, but that's okay. Getting some color on his cheek, back down to his chin. Looked like it had a little shadow on that shoulder over there, so I put some dark there. Going for the next darker color, which is a combination of yellow, orange, and brown. Since this was a darker color, I'm trying to get some of that dark color around his eyes, the shadow of his nose. He's got that crease up at the top of the bridge of his nose. Putting some of the dark color into his hair and his eyebrows. Filling in the other eye. Shadow on the other side of his face. Nostril. So one side of his face is heavily in shadow, so I'm going to try and get some of that dark in. Plus he has a little bit of that 5 o'clock shadow going. That side of his head is pretty dark, so I'm going to have to layer different colors in there. There's no black with this set. This is, I think, one of the darker colors in this set of these Tri-Tone colored pencils. His ear is definitely in a shadow over there. I'm going to have to put several layers there to get his hair dark enough. So this one's a combination of light, medium, and dark blue. So I'm going to add that to some areas, hopefully to make them darker, especially his mustache, which looks almost black in the picture. I'm going to put a lot of this up in his hair, get it dark, and on the shadow side of his face. It's interesting with these pencils because of the 3 different colors. When you turn your pencil a little bit one way, you get one color, and a little bit the other way, you get another color. You never really know which color is going to pop up on the page. Makes it a little exciting. Get some more color down in that shadow there around the side of his face, up in his hair. Just playing with the pencils. One thing with this Jane Davenport canvas journal is it's leaving a strange texture using these pencils. I had this problem when I did the other face last Friday with the Derwent drawing pencils. I didn't know if it was the pencil or the paper, but I'm definitely beginning to think it is the paper because it leaves a very funny texture pattern. I'll put a close-up at the end of the video so you can see better what I mean. Trying to get some of those creases in his forehead. Adding some more dark, squaring off his jaw and his chin a little bit, making it darker. This pencil's a combination of some reds and blues, putting a little bit redder and pink around the mouth, darker shadow inside the mouth, nostril, around the bridge of his nose. Getting some dark on his hair, shadow. As you see, I'm not working terribly slow. I'm trying to get all this in, trying to get all these challenges, these 30 pages, 30 days challenges done in 30 minutes or less. So my camera runs for about 20 minutes and then automatically shuts itself off. And when it does that, I know I only have about 10 more minutes after I turn it on to meet my 30-minute challenge. So I have to get this done shortly. And just putting a couple last finishing touches here with layers of color. And now I'm going to do my journaling. Hashtag 30 pages, 30 days. This is page number 9, March 9th. 30 minutes or less. Sketchy Friday Face Challenge. And I'm looking at the page because I really want to write down what I use. So I'm putting in the Koh-I-Noor Tir-Tone pencils, and then I really want to make swatches, which I should have done before I started drawing. And I keep turning my book around and thinking, I got 7 pencils, where am I going to put all these colors? And I decided to flip back and find a space on another page. So here I'm just going to make a swatch of all the different colors. That first one I used was Marigold, and the darker one was Flame. Tiger was interesting, it was orange and brown. This one was Volcano with the reds. The pinkish one there was Sunset. Evening, remember this was Evening Storm, kind of blue and red, and the blue was called Ocean. Making a note here what it was. And that's about it.